All right. So we're still on the, I think it's the moon of Titan. Yeah, this is New Homestead, which I didn't expect seeing. But we're here. What's this music? Oh, it's almost sounded like Star Wars for a second. Which wouldn't be too far-fetched. So...
Got anything you need to offload? Trade authorities always lie. Kiosk right here for you.
I think I sold everything last time I played.
Hey, I need to
Check it online, lady. We'll talk to you later. So yeah, what's here? Is anything important here? Whee!
Enjoy your visit here.
Careful. Low gravity mean interesting. The last thing I expected to stumble across at this type of settlement is a museum. Might be worth a look around.
Museum, you say? Or, oh wow.
If you're planning on going to Chang's, Luther's been bothering anyone.
So is this the city?
Welcome to New Homestead.
We take vandalism seriously here. You don't mess with history.
Okay. Oh, it's an elevator. Okay, so with that in a second. Okay. So this is the interior of the whole place. It looks like. Maybe not the whole place.
History here, if you're into that sort of thing.
Look at that.
The people here live a simple life. Try not to complicate it.
A simple life, yeah. I can tell.
Hello, don't mind me.
Oh,
I love
named
talking to
NPCs.
characters like you.
Whoa.
If you'll pardon me, I'm not in the mood to talk.
Ah, someone new.
Wow.
Are you a tourist or have you just moved to New Homestead?
Oh, I'm just passing through.
Ah, well, don't be afraid to soak in some of the local charm then. We're friendly people, mostly, and we like having visitors. I'm fascinated by the other worlds in the settled systems. Do you mind if I ask you a question?
Sure, go ahead.
Oh, wonderful. What's New Atlantis like?
Oh. Yeah, it's amazing. Huge skyscrapers, beautiful skies, people from all walks of life.
Oh my, that sounds incredible. Ever since I overheard one of the tourists speaking about it, I've always wanted to go. We hear about it, of course, but we rarely get much exposure to other worlds beyond the people who come from them to visit our little colony. I wonder if I can convince Nathaniel to go on a trip there with me and our daughter. Do you mind if I ask you another question?
I don't mind.
Thanks. I promise not to take too much of your time. Is the Freestar Collective as lawless as I've heard?
Yeah, I really don't know much about them. Actually, no. Wait, it's not as lawless as they need to believe. But yeah, people still believe in rules and justice. There's still like a structure, I can tell.
I figured the stories weren't all true. How else would you expect people to live together if you can't trust in laws to keep everyone safe? Even in a small community like ours, we have to maintain law and order. Though, I understand it gets difficult to always protect that out in the vastness of space. I imagine it's the same in the Freestar Collective. Is it okay if I change the subject?
Yes, ask away.
Oh, thank you. Are there really planets full of plants, fresh air, and water?
Yes, there are beautiful planets, teeming with life of all kinds.
I've read about them. It seems incredible, doesn't it? I've only ever known Titan, and it's always so cold and drab. I've always dreamed of visiting one to breathe the air, feel the warmth of its sun, but my husband is reluctant to leave our home. Can I ask you something else?
I don't mind.
Thanks. I promise not to take too much of your time. Is space travel as exciting as it seems?
I'm still amazed by the awe and wonder of it every time I go out there.
Well, you've convinced me that I simply must go sometime. Most of us here have never left the surface of New Homestead. It's a point of pride among many people, but I've always been curious. Those are all the questions I have at the moment. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day for me.
Huh. Okay. This is Nathaniel.
I overheard you speaking to my wife, Mara, filling her head with ideas about picking up and leaving home. You got anything to say for yourself?
Yeah, no, sir. I did not mean to stir up trouble.
That's what I thought. Now, I'd appreciate if you keep your nonsense to yourself. I don't expect you to understand why it's important our people stay here and keep our traditional way of life.
What's so important about your traditions?
People rely on technology too much. We need to remember how to perform the basics to survive in case we ever find ourselves without said technology. We need to remember where we came from, Earth, this system, lest we forget and repeat the same mistakes as before. We're one of the last colonies charged with that preservation. That's why it's important.
What traditions?
Traditions like the way we tend this farm, strong family ties, early colonial life. We do it all with the bare minimum technologies to survive. Everything else is hard work done by humans. It's good for humanity's soul.
But yeah, I don't agree with you. People should explore the universe freely.
We're going to have to agree to disagree then. I only ask that you respect our wishes.
And this is
Did you know
Sylvie
that Earth
Munch.
had all sorts of cool animals? Actually, lots of planets do. But not this one. Sad, huh?
Very similar to Mars.
Hello? I'm not really supposed to talk with tourists, but I kind of want to anyway. And I don't think my papa is paying attention. You're not going to tell him, are you?
No, not the one we do.
Oh, thank you! I promise it'll be fun. I like talking to tourists. I get to learn so much about everywhere else, and they get to learn about here. Now what should we talk about?
Do you enjoy working on the farm?
I think it's pretty fun. And I get to be around my mama and my papa all day, so that's cool. They say we all have to work a little, because it takes all of us to make the community work. Just like on Earth a really, really, really long time ago. Someday, I think it'd be cool to see other places and do other things, but this is fine for now.
Yeah, her dad's not gonna let her do that. Why doesn't your dad want to talk to tourists?
My mama says it's because he thinks we'd up and leave if we found out about the rest of the worlds out there. But I keep telling him, I love it here, and I love him, and I would never leave him. He doesn't believe it. He says the kids almost always want to leave when they grow up. But not me. Nope. I just want to visit somewhere else. Maybe.
Are there a lot of other kids in New Homestead?
Not really. There's some, though. Most are around my age. We all go to school in the same room.
Is school here the same as other schools in the subtle systems?
I don't know. I've never been to any other schools. We mostly learn about the history of the Sol system and Earth and stuff like that until we get old enough to go on our learning vacation. That's when we get to leave to go to school somewhere else for a few years, or travel and visit other worlds, try out jobs and stuff. Oh, I can't wait. Thanks for taking the time to talk with me.
Yeah, so they have to live in this container.
It would be nice to get off-world sometime.
Ah, there. Always nice seeing a new face.
And this goes the residential wing, New Homestead. So it tries to keep the ideals of Earth.
But didn't they have big open fields and giant machines? We don't have any of that.
She makes a good point, dear.
It's because we have a much smaller space to work with.
So then, it's not really the same, is it? How is it a tradition if it's not the same thing as they did? And so then, why is it important that we preserve it?
I don't know, it just is. Now, we don't want to fall behind on work, so let's get back to it, okay, kiddo?
Okay, fine.
We Titans are hardy people. You'd have to be to live in a place like this. I overheard you speaking to my wife, Mara, filling her head with ideas about picking up and leaving home.
This is the same thing.
You got anything to say for yourself?
I can repeat that. We'll see what it says to this. Yeah, she clearly wants to visit off-world. Why not let her?
Listen here. Mara's free to make her own decisions. I'm not here to control her if that's what you're insinuating. But that doesn't mean I take kindly to other people manipulating her and telling her the other worlds are full of sunshine and rainbows. We live a simple, traditional life here, and it's important to the community that we maintain that. Do you understand?
Yeah, the stability is nice, though. Just knowing that, you know, simple life.
Good. I know it's not easy for you types, but this is our home. I'm glad you found it in you to respect that.
Okay. The residential wing should be... I'll make sure I can clear this top floor. New homestead down that way. Oh, okay. This place is a lot bigger than I thought.
Don't want to get hurt or sick around here.
Okay, this place is a lot bigger. We got chunks.
Things have never been better since this trunk's opened up. Makes me feel like we're actually part of the UC.
Clear Atlanta.
Welcome to Chunks, home of the best chunks in the settled systems.
Boy, am I glad they have a chunks here.
We'll come back here for the quest. That's when I explore. While wrestling on.
We live a
Wow.
on New Homestead, but make no mistake, it's
Yeah, this is a...
Feel free to look around.
Like, what is this?
Don't touch.
I didn't know at all.
New Homestead is a living history exhibit. These are real.
Holy crap. All named NPCs. This is crazy. I thought it was just the top part. Lounge, the clinic.
I'll treat you if you need it, but please try to be more careful around here. Great! Another tourist. Let me guess. You slipped on the ice and need a doctor to wrap your sprained ankle?
I'm here visiting, but I'm not a tourist.
I appreciate that you're trying to set me at ease, but that might as well be the same. Sorry for how I responded. It's not you, it's me. I'm just frustrated about all the non-native people I need to treat when our own still need help. Anyway, what can I do for you?
Is it difficult being a doctor in such an old-fashioned community?
Even though we don't have shiny new medical facilities, I imagine it's easier than wherever you're from. We have fewer people here, and we're very responsible when it comes to our personal health and welfare. So there's not much I can't handle. For anything else, we can get access to off-world specialists. Contrary to popular belief, we're not primitive.
Are there any dangerous hazards to worry about on Titan?
It's a harsh world, but as long as you're inside or wear a suit when going out, you'll be fine here. There's no breathable air on the surface, and you'll quickly freeze to death outside without protective gear, but otherwise the hazards are minimal. New Homestead was an early colony research base and has stood the test of time. It's safe, and it's proof that people can live pretty much anywhere. Don't worry so much.
That's cool.
Try to be careful out there.
This is cool.
I can't wait to go where my learning thing when I grow up.
Careful. There are some dangerous areas around here.
To surface. And that's that elevator we saw earlier.
they help the local economy.
Hey,
Worlders always ask how I can live here. I wonder how they can live anywhere else.
Someone's gotta talk to Joyce about these brownouts.
Joyce. So yeah, we'll come back here in the future, 100%. I'm just trying to get a good overview of what this place looks like. Kind of map it out in my head. Is there an actual map? There's not. Yeah, this is sick.
We used to get more tourists than we do these days.
A whole other vibe
Hey,
than the other worlds. Like, I thought this would just be an uncharted world, but no.
Hi there. Welcome to my little shop.
That tablet.
It's been a while since I last visited. Nice to see
A
this
while.
place still has the same charm.
We got J Montreal.
Well, hello there, and welcome to my little shop. Are you visiting New Homestead for the first time?
Yeah, it's my first time here.
Oh, nice. You know, it's always such a pleasure to meet people from other worlds. Or just space. I don't judge. I'm Jay. I'm happy to help you find what you're looking to buy or take a look at whatever you want to sell. Trades of all kinds are welcome here. Or if you have any questions for me about the shop, the merchandise, or even just New Homestead in general, I'm happy to help you.
Do you sell any souvenirs or anything like that?
We used to, but not anymore. Believe it or not, the New Homestead Tourism Board decided a while back to do away with souvenirs. We don't really have the resources or facilities to make them here ourselves, and it was decided that anything less than that would seem exploitive of our people and inauthentic. Only thing we have are these souvenir slates about the history of New Homestead. Tell you what, I've got an extra one here that another guest left behind a while back. You can have it.
Ooh, okay. New Homestead live history. What do you think of all the tourists who come in to visit New Homestead?
I love them. Most of us in New Homestead appreciate what tourism does for our economic livelihood, so we go out of our way to make guests feel welcome. Some are indifferent about it, while a few others, I won't name names, are downright resentful of all the tourists and would prefer to be left alone. But that being said, I believe our generally friendly demeanor is a large part of what drives people to keep coming back.
You mentioned something about trading. What sort of things are you looking for?
Glad you asked. I'm looking for all sorts of things. Anything, really. Clothing, weapons, jewelry, even stuff they consider junk. You name it. We don't get a lot of off-world stock, so I offer to buy things from travelers. Anything they're willing to part with. Between you and me, people around here talk a lot about tradition and whatnot, but even they get curious about what other worlds have to offer.
I'd like to take a look at what you're selling.
Sure thing. I'm also interested in buying if you have anything for sale.
Okay, let's see what we got here. Digipix. Cool.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
This colony's a lot smaller than I thought it would be.
I mean, it's a lot bigger than I thought. Like this whole colony is crazy. I thought it was just like the base up top, and that was it. And like the fact that UC security is here. Where does this go? Where does this go? What is this? It's a whole mining colony.
It must be difficult trying to survive when this collection of shipping containers is all you have for permanent accommodations.
Huh. Oh wow. Huh. The gravity. This is down here, and this goes back up to New Homestead.
Don't stay outside for too long here on Titan. You'll freeze solid without the proper protection.
Oh. Museum display. Read plaque. Meteorites. Natural space debris like asteroids and meteoroids routinely enter planetary or moon atmospheres to impact the surface below. When a meteor survives its journey through the atmosphere and makes impact, the result is a meteorite such as the one seen in this display case. Left to right. Unaltered piece of the Gibeon meteorite, which impacted Earth 600 million years ago. Fluorescent meteorite, which impacted Titan 20 million years ago. Slab of the Natan meteorite, which is believed to have impacted Earth 800 years ago. Oh, I'm going here first. The Brown Horse Tavern.
If you need medical attention, see Dr. Lakota. But
all tourists.
She really doesn't care for tourists.
Did you see those wind turbines out there?
Ice mining operations are unusual, but if they're run properly, they can prove to be.
After all those brownouts last week.
I know. Welcome. I'm Anya. Is this your first time with us at the Brown Horse Tavern?
Yes, I had never been here before.
Oh, well, thank you for joining us. You're in for a real treat. We've got an assortment of food and drinks, some of which follow homemade recipes that have been passed down over hundreds of years. So, what can I do for you?
I saw the Chunks restaurant out there. Does it hurt your business?
Oh, hardly. The locals pretty much stay away from Chunks, so whenever they don't feel like cooking themselves and want a fresh meal, they come to me. Only the tourists eat that junk. But don't tell that to my husband. He manages the Chunks. I love him, but he's a bit of a fanatic about it.
What is this place?
You mean the Brown Horse? Well, it's only the longest continuous running restaurant since humans started settling outside of Earth. There's a lot of history within these walls, and some damn fine food and drink, if I say so myself. This place has been in my family for generations. My however many great-grandmother opened it when the first colony started on Titan. Back then, it was a simple mess hall that she chose to put a little extra love and flavor into. And now, it's the pride of New Homestead.
I'd like to see the menu, please.
Let me show you what we have.
Canuck. Bourbon Kiffles. Cool.
So long. Tell your friends about us.
Did you know the museum is full of old Earth artifacts? Cool, huh?
Word of advice, steer clear of the doctor here. She really seems to have a problem with tourists for some reason.
Everyone's seen her. Yeah, NASA. This plaque. NASA, one of several Earth-based space agencies, was instrumental in humankind's earliest journeys into space. Indeed, it was due to the efforts of NASA that New Homestead exists. In 2107, NASA sent an unmanned probe to Titan, which paved the way for the development of the Titan Astro Base, completed in 2130. By 2185, the Titan Astro Base project was transitioned into the colony of New Homestead. From left to right, NASA prototype rocket, NASA branded mug, Vostok 1 USSR space program, Space Shuttle Discovery, Apollo 11, collectible snow globes, items on loan from NASA. Wow. Leaving Earth. Wow, look at this. And there's the snow globes. Museum display. Scale model of the HMS Beagle. Originally constructed for the British Navy as a war vessel and first launched in 1820. This Cherokee-class brig sloop was most famous for transporting renowned scientist Charles Darwin during his famous worldwide research voyage in 1831 to 1836. Museum display. The scale model of the RV Calypso. Originally commissioned by the British Royal Navy as a minesweeper vessel and launched in 1942. It was later repurposed by famed Earth oceanographic researcher Jacques Cousteau in 1950. Cousteau dedicated his life to exploring Earth's oceans, further and deeper than anyone before him. During his expeditions, he formed a deeper understanding of the sea's fragile ecosystems and became an advocate for ocean preservation. That is so cool. We got more meteorites. So natural space debris like asteroids and meteoroids routinely enters planetary or moon atmospheres to impact the surface below. When a meteor survives its journey through the atmosphere and makes impact, the result is a meteorite, such as the ones seen in this display case. Displayed to the left, polished and rounded piece of the Gibeon meteorite, which impacted Earth 600 million years ago. Displayed ahead from left to right, Cabanis chondrite meteorite, which impacted Titan 250 million years ago. Piece of the Trinino meteorite, which is believed to have impacted Earth more than 1,200 years ago. Whoa. It's just to think that that's that rock from space. It's so crazy to think about. My USB hub kind of freaked out. Okay, so now we have this display. We have miscellaneous Earth knickknacks from left to right. Unknown decorative liquor bottle brought from Earth to New Homestead during its original mission. Electronic pipes used to inhale various legal substances during early New Homestead colonial times. Equinoctial dial brought to New Homestead by one of the original settlers as a family heirloom. Original construction 1800. Scroll case of unknown date and origin, believed to have once been a sacred relic. This old scroll case likely predates any other synthetic item in this museum. The scroll itself has been lost to time. An elder scroll, perhaps? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, interesting. Then we have championship ice hockey stick. Ice hockey stick used on Earth in the city of Edmonton, Canada, during the 1988 championship game. Ice hockey is a contact sport placed on an ice rink where two teams with 5 players and 2 goaltenders, called goalies, compete to deposit a rubberized puck in another team's goal. The players traverse the rink on specialized shoes mounted on thin metal blades called ice skates and manipulate the puck with specialized curved sticks, such as the one displayed here. And look at that, that's cool. Bit of old Earth history. There we got him here. The commercial reproductions of Earth fauna. It's a piggy bank. So throughout human history, replicas of Earth's animals were used in many different ways, from toys and games to more practical uses such as these items. The piggy bank on the left, as far back as the 15th century, hollowed out ceramic statue of an animal known as a pig were popularly used to store physical currency. The decoy duck, right. Waterfowl, known as ducks, were once hunted near Earth's marshes for sport and food using ballistic rifles. To facilitate this activity, hunters would often place wooden decoy ducks in the water and use a small woodwind instrument to produce an accompanying call resembling that of the duck in order to lure it in. How about that? Whoa, okay. So, museum display. Various Earth sports photos and memorabilia. From left to right, we got Championship Baseball, Boston, Massachusetts, it's 1978. Game-winning soccer ball, International League, 2018. Basketball used by the United States World Champion Basketball Team, 1992. And record-setting home run baseball, 1935.
Cold here. I guess I shouldn't have expected that.
Wow, look at this.
I still can't believe people
And
actually
then
live like this.
here, Antique Earth Media. Assorted Earth Media. Clockwise from bottom left. These are all books. So we got Tales from Space and Time. Hugh Wells, 1899. On the Origin of Species. Charles Darwin, 1859. Frankenstein. Mary Shelley, 1818. Portable Combat Disc Player, 1993. Sailing Alone Around the World. Joshua Slocum, 1900. And videotape, 1976. Oh, VHS, look at that. DVD player. Music display. Antique instrument of unknown origin. Earth. Believed to be of West African origin, possibly a type of agoni, a harp-like string instrument traditionally used in ceremonies accompanied with chanting and storytelling. This instrument was generously donated to the New Homestead Museum, but its true origin is unfortunately lost to the time.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
Don't you get
I'm learning so much here. Like,
Oh.
visit at least once in a life.
Antique computers. A range of antique Earth computers ranging from the late 1980s to the mid-2000s. Computers have existed in some form since Charles Babbage's difference engine in 1822. The years from the mid-20th century into the early 21st century were known for some of the greatest advances in computing technology, as computers shrank from gigantic room-sized devices filled with vacuum tubes to small boxes filled with microprocessors like the ones you see here.
Another dead world.
It's where we're all from. It was a place of beauty and unimaginable history. I cannot overstate how important it was for all of humanity.
Talking about Earth.
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe I need to look up more about it.
The fact they have no idea.
To lay eyes on the Earth just once. Hello there. Are you here to peruse our little museum exhibit?
Maurice. Yes, I was looking at some of the items in your collection.
Wonderful. These are all rare artifacts from before the collapse of Earth. There isn't much of this stuff left outside of private collections, but here we're happy to share a glimpse of them with the public. If you have any questions about the exhibit or New Homestead, I'm happy to answer as best as I can.
What can you tell me about how New Homestead came to be?
It's an interesting story. New Homestead began as a scientific research base called the Titan Astro Base, back when space travel was in its infancy. The hope was that humanity would be able to discover simple alien life here given the moon's composition and water supply. When that ultimately failed, it was repurposed as a colony research base, where scientists and engineers studied how to build colonies on inhospitable worlds. Then, finally, when gravity drives were commonplace and we started finding Earth-like planets, New Homestead was born as a living history community to preserve that past.
Who are you and what do you do here?
I am Maurice Leon, and I am the community elder. As the oldest living citizen at 96, my only job is to keep Earth history alive. I tell stories to the young people and the visitors from other worlds. Although my memory isn't what it used to be, I try my best to get the stories right.
Can you tell me a story about Earth?
Sure, I'd love to. There was once a war, so big that they say all of the world was involved. This was actually the second time it happened. They fought because a terrible man named Hitler rose to power and slaughtered many innocents. Millions were lost. Even the colony war pales in comparison.
Ooh. Do you have any more Earth stories?
Why, certainly. It's what I do. There was a time when huge monstrosities called dinosaurs ruled over Earth, long before humans existed. They were similar to some of the larger life forms you might see elsewhere in the settled systems. Their reign ended when I can never remember if it was a comet, an asteroid, or a meteor that hit the Earth. Whatever it was, it nearly wiped out most of the life at that time.
Have time to tell another story?
Let me think of a good one. A long time ago, thousands of years, humans built a wall so large it spanned the northern length of one of Earth's largest empires, China. They called it the Great Wall of China, and it was meant to keep out invading hordes. If I recall correctly, it didn't always work as well as they had hoped. I'll have to look it up again. Memory's not what it once was.
It's kind of like the museum in Rivet City in Fallout 3. Kind of the same concept. It's just about pre-war stuff. If anything, this is doing a really good job. So what Starfield's doing is Fallout had the pre-war mystery. It was like, and it seems that in Starfield it is like the old settlers of Earth and what happened to Earth.
I apologize. Could you speak
Can
up?
you tell me more about the exhibit?
Of course. Certainly. We have several items in our collection that we rotate in and out over time, but they all originate from the same place, Earth. We have everything from toys to antique technology to sports memorabilia. We even used to have an old Earth vehicle, but we had to sell it when we ran out of space for it. Most of our collection was donated by fellow Earth enthusiasts and historians who felt it belonged close to the homeland here in the Sol system.
Everyone here has such interesting family names. What's the deal with that?
When our early colonists learned of Earth's demise, they decided to take on the names of their cities of origin as a way to remember their heritage. Now, some may have been lost in translation over the years, and some may have taken it more seriously than others, but the names are mostly accurate. For instance, my family comes from the city of Lyon, in a country that was called France. Enjoy the rest of your stay in New Homestead.
This colony is a lot smaller than I thought it would be.
Montreal.
Hello.
I didn't even notice that.
Warm food.
Seattle.
What else could you want?
I still can't believe people actually live like this.
Starsap.
I'm learning so much here.
Why, hello there! I'm Bill Starsap of Starsap Tours. Let me tell you, this place is full of history and interesting facts. For instance, did you know that New Homestead was one of the first colonies established outside of Earth? It's been populated in some capacity for over 200 years.
That's interesting. I'd like to know more about New Homestead.
Well, there's plenty more where that came from if you're interested in taking one of my famous tours. So what do you say? I've got an opening. I could take you on a tour right now if you'd like.
What do you recommend seeing here while I'm here? Anything to avoid?
Definitely check out the Brown Horse Tavern. Good food, great atmosphere. Avoid spending too much time outdoors. It's freezing out there. Any more than that, and well, I'd be giving away the tour for free.
I'm not gonna say that. Yeah, why would somebody want a tour on New Homestead?
Why would I want a tour of New Homestead, he says. Well, let me tell you, New Homestead is living history. These people are direct descendants of some of the first settlers to leave Earth.
Which is really cool.
If you've ever wanted to know what that early colonial life was like, this is your chance to embark on a fun-filled exhibition unlike any other.
Okay, I'd like to go on a tour of New Homestead.
Excellent! You won't regret it. My tours are one of a kind. Now, there's just the matter of price. The going rate for a genuine Starsap tour is only 100 credits.
Sure thing.
Great! Let's get this show on the road, eh? All right, so this is New Homestead's main concourse. This underground area didn't exist when the original outpost, Titan Astro Base, was finished in 2130. Follow me. We'll come back here by the end of the tour and talk about the museum collection. But first, let's go see where people live. Now remember, these people aren't actors. They actually live here, so try to be respectful of that. While the original inhabitants of the Titan Astro Base lived in pods like you saw up above, they transitioned down here when this section of the base was finished in 2144. Space is extremely limited, so you'll notice some overflow here, but more residences also exist on lower levels, which are inaccessible to tours. I'll stop at each of our destinations if you want to look around, or if you have any questions for me. Have any questions so far?
Oh man, okay, so how many people live here?
I'm not sure the exact count, but New Homestead is a fairly small colony. What you see is what you get for the most part, except for some other people who live in the private lower levels. Some, particularly security, and yours truly, even commute from other worlds.
Can you tell me more about how people lived before this is all built?
The original Titan Astro Base had more habitation pods on the surface connected to some of the old structures you may have seen in the back. As the colony grew, the base was expanded underground, and those hab units were recycled into materials used down here.
The overflow area looks cramped. What's with that?
Sadly, it's difficult to get additional construction done inside these underground caverns. So for now, additional populations are housed in these stacks of old shipping crates. As you might expect, this is where some of the less wealthy can afford to live. It's not glamorous, but they are functional and cozy.
They're essentially a vault from, like, Fallout. I like that kind of correlation. I'd like to check this out in more detail.
Oh, sure, I'll be here waiting. The locals love to talk with tourists, but they'll let you know if they're busy. So please respect them.
Oh.
Have any questions so far?
I think I'm ready for whatever's next.
Alrighty. We'll be taking the residential elevator to the farms area on the surface level.
Ah, gotcha.
This way, please. Let's leave these good people alone for now and go check out the farms. Follow me up the elevator.
This is so cool. Oh.
This is a boring assignment, but let's keep it that way.
Oh. To surface and up here. And it's a pretty large colony.
New Homestead's farms are the beating heart of the colony. Without them, the original outpost would have shriveled and died. These pods are sealed and climate
fresh air.
Too many sounds. Can't even hear him.
Needed for survival in the early days of the colony.
Some of us are quite happy with our lives here. We don't need tourists distracting us with their flights of fancy.
Any questions about the farms?
What do they grow here?
These days, it's a mix of what you find elsewhere in the galaxy, but in the olden days, it was all brought over from Earth. It was a lot of hardy root vegetables like potatoes, carrots, beets, and such, supplemented with corn, peas, green beans, soy, etc., which didn't always grow as well.
Are the farms still operational?
Oh, they are indeed. Colonists still cultivate plant-based food for their own consumption here in New Homestead. It's less vital to their survival these days, as they also import supplemental food from other colonies, including meats, dairy, and synthetics. However, most citizens here take pride in a New Homestead-grown, sustainable diet.
How is this different than anywhere else in the galaxy?
Good question. It's largely the same, because this was the colony that pioneered the techniques you see elsewhere. But you'll notice that the farms here are smaller and staffed by humans, not robots. Things here are a little more old-fashioned compared to some of the large factory farms you'll find elsewhere in the settled systems.
Yeah, I remember talking about that earlier. I'm ready to move on.
Onward it is! We'll be stopping by the Brown Horse Tavern later in the tour, which uses many of these locally sourced ingredients in their cooking. But for now, it's just a short way to our next stop. Follow me! So, the old biolabs are just on the other side of this building, believe it or not. We'll step on through the hallway there. They're not in use anymore, but the colony has faithfully recreated them as a historical exhibit, true to the original purpose of the Titan Astro Base. Sadly, they're undergoing some light renovation. Otherwise, there'd be interactive activities for kids to learn about how they used to search for microbial life here.
Those folks in Sidonia may be closer to Earth, but we do a better job preserving its traditions.
Don't stay outside for too long here on Titan. You'll freeze solid without the proper protection.
Okay.
Pardon the dust, but I can still answer some questions about the old Titan Astro Base biolabs.
You keep mentioning the Titan Astro Base. What is that?
Oh, I'm sorry. I completely forgot to mention that. That's what this place was originally called. When NASA divested its interest in the Astro Base and turned it over to the people back in 2185, they renamed it New Homestead and established it as a historical site.
Okay. What kind of life did they find here?
Funny you should ask. Sadly, none. See, NASA funded the Titan Astro Base project because conditions seemed ripe for primordial life to form in Titan's methane pools. They tested many different sites, performed deep core ice drilling, and more, yet nothing turned up.
So that was it? Why did they use these labs for after no life was found?
Well, NASA defunded the xenobiology program in 2132, but a scientist by the name of Catherine Neely proposed research into advanced colony building on inhospitable worlds. So, by 2135, work began on what would ultimately set us all up to create habitats anywhere humans dared to explore. These very labs housed the computer systems used in that research. That and general storage for the colony. Lots of storage.
It's okay, we can keep moving.
You got it. On to our next stop. Next, we'll be heading outside, so make sure to check those seals on your suit because it's a bit chilly out there.
Off-worlders always ask how I can
We're
live
going
here.
out into
I
the
wonder how they
frozen
can live
wastes of Titan to see what powers this planet. Watch your step outside, by the way. The ice can be slippery if you're not careful. The goal is to keep people out of Dr. Lakota's infirmary.
This is a boring assignment, but let's keep it that way.
Okay, we're just gonna go outside. We just pop on our suits. Bill Starsap. Is he coming? First of all, I'm gonna activate this quest. Come on, Bill. Push him outside. There we go.
Anyway, where were we?
Some dangerous
Oh,
areas
yes.
around here.
Powering New Homestead.
Of any tours.
As you might imagine, generating energy was a real challenge back in the day because the technology was much more crude then. But crude or not, it was that technology that sustained the old Astro Base. And it might surprise you to learn that the same technology is still working today. The interesting thing about this old colony is that it's mostly powered by clean, renewable energy. You'll see one of the methods used on the horizon up ahead. That's right, New Homestead's famous wind farms. This spot was chosen for the colony in part because of its constant winds.
Oh, that's not bad. That's a good idea.
Turbines have been integral to the colony's function since its establishment as a cheap, mostly reliable source of electricity. So, let's talk about wind power, shall we?
This is a fun side quest. This is kind of very informative. Do these turbines really power the entire colony?
Mostly. I'm sure you've noticed the occasional brownouts. I guess these old machines have a habit of freezing up, what with all the ice out here. There's some methane on reserve for critical life support systems, but everything else here is otherwise powered by the units you see here.
I didn't think Titan was all that windy.
You're right. Most surface wind on Titan isn't too terribly strong, but here, the altitude and other conditions are perfect for sustained wind power. Like many worlds with atmosphere, the higher you go, the windier it gets.
What's so interesting about wind power? Why is it part of the tour?
You're looking at a piece of history. Sure, wind power is used throughout the galaxy, but these people were able to make do with it for hundreds of years. It's impressive that was all they had back then, and still make it work to this day.
That is pretty cool. Actually, I'd like to move on.
You're the boss. Let's go. Moving right along, we're going to learn about natural resources. Titan is rich with hydrocarbons like methane and ethane. Surely you saw huge pools of this stuff on your descent into New Homestead. I like to think they add to the natural beauty of this world. Of course, stay away from them because, like anything beautiful, they can be dangerous. Just like my last ex-wife's pet. She had this gorgeous, I don't know what you'd call it, creature. The guy that sold it to her couldn't tell her what it was or where it was from. I don't think it was even a legal sell, to be honest. The thing was very easy on the eyes. Feathers, all the colors of the rainbow. Nasty bite, though. Wound up in the hospital and almost lost my hand. Still not enough for her to get rid of the dang thing. Anyway, there's the reason she's my ex-wife. But enough about me. We were talking about methane and other resources, right? Hey, can you believe it? Back in the 20th century on Earth, they used to fight wars over natural resources like this and petroleum. They had this whole moon here basically made of hydrocarbons in their own backyard. They just couldn't get to it. Incredible how far we've come. New Homestead is home to one of the oldest and largest methane processing plants in the settled systems. Every year, UC engineers go through a painstaking, month-long maintenance process. That's how this place has remained operational as long as it has. I'm not going to take you too close to the machinery, liability and all, but I can still answer questions. Questions? Fire away!
How can they shut down the plant for maintenance if people rely on it to live?
It's not as if they shut down for a month. It's not shut down at all, actually. See, this place is built with redundant systems, so they can shut it down piece by piece and suffer only a reduction in throughput. During that time, the UC gets more of its resources from other places, allowing New Homestead to maintain what it needs.
What do they do with all this methane?
Exports mostly, since this world is so methane rich and has the infrastructure for it, a lot of the UC's methane comes from Titan. Of course, New Homesteaders use it themselves for everything from generating heat to turning it into breathable oxygen by a modern science.
Oh, that's cool. Oh wait, how can they turn methane into oxygen?
Oh, no one's ever asked me that before. Something to do with methane-eating microbes, I believe? I honestly don't know. Sorry.
No more questions right now.
Okie dokie, artichokey. There will be time for more later anyway. So, this next stop is a bit of an interesting one. I only recently made it part of the tour. Fun fact, it's also the only natural landmark on the tour. What we're about to see is a glacial spire we affectionately call Ymir's Horn.
Ymir's Horn.
This colus used to be named after a character in a popular fantasy novel, but it was changed a couple hundred years ago to avoid any potential litigation. Now, what's a colus, you might say? Colus derives from the Latin word for hill, and scientists only gave names to groups of hills on a planet's surface. So in reality, the term you hear more often is the plural, coles, with an E. You probably don't hear it very often where you're from, because it was usually a term reserved for unexplored planets, back when they didn't have the technology to describe what they were seeing firsthand. Because of that, the term is much more common in the Sol system, but you may still hear it occasionally in reference to uncharted worlds. This planet's full of them, though, and they like to preserve that history here.
Yeah, that's cool looking. Wow. I mean, we're actually quite high up.
So here it is, Ymir's Horn. You're free to take a closer look if you like.
Ymir, who's that?
According to ancient Norse mythology, Ymir was the first Jotun, a frost giant. In the legend, they were both male and female and gave birth to the progenitors of all giants from their armpits. Ymir even predated the Norse gods, who, as it turns out, killed Ymir to fashion the earth and all of humanity from the corpse. It's a fascinating story, and the horn here is a fitting tribute to it.
How did Coles form?
I've heard this particular formation was caused by an ancient volcano. Something about steam and wind, then worn down over time. But I'm not 100% sure.
I think I'm done here.
Excellent. On to the next stop then. So, we're gonna head back inside through the methane processing plant. Try not to touch anything on your way. We want to make sure to respect Dr. Lakota's wishes to be safer around here. That brings me to another point. You'll notice the people around here have last names related to where their families originated from on Earth, as a way to remember the past. The museum curator, Maurice Leon, has more information about that if you're interested. You can find him inside the main concourse. Loves talking about it. You'll find most of the locals here are very friendly to tourists like yourself. Tourism is a major draw to this colony these days, and I respect that. Most of them are happy to talk at length about what they do here. Their rugged lifestyle is a point of pride for a lot of these folks.
Bill, dang. Just look at that. That atmosphere. Okay, go this way. Another way in. You recognize this room. There we go, Bill. There we go.
I don't mind the tourists. Help the local economy.
This area we're walking through is the nerve center of the plant, where technicians keep an eye on the operation. Since methane production is such an important part of the colony's livelihood, it's important that the techs notice any issues and react to them quickly. Anyway, we're headed into the ice mines. It's a natural spring where water bubbles up from deep below. But due to the cold, it keeps freezing as it reaches the surface.
I know. I'll send someone to go patch it up again. We do what we gotta do until we can get the approval to replace the whole unit.
All the NPCs talk over one another. Okay, this is where we are. What is that? Mines.
What else can I tell you about the ice mines?
Is this where all the new Homestead's water comes from?
Not all. Some water is created as a byproduct of methane processing, but that's usually saved in the emergency reserves.
Why not hate this area like the rest of the colony?
Good question. I believe it has something to do with not wanting to contaminate the water with methane and other chemicals. The ice helps prevent impurities in the water. At least this is what I've been told.
I'm thirsty. Can I drink from the source?
I wouldn't recommend it. First, it's an active work site. Second, it still needs to be filtered and checked for contaminants. But don't worry, we'll stop somewhere for refreshments before the tour is over.
I don't need to know more about the ice mines. I'm ready to go.
Sounds good. Let's keep going then. We have just one more stop before we're done with the tour, and it just happens to be my favorite. This colony is home to the longest running establishment still in existence, the Brown Horse Tavern. The Brown Horse started as a simple mess hall for the scientists and workers when the underground was built, but it's been operated by the same family ever since. Now, what's a horse, you might say? They were a large four-legged animal on Earth, often used for transportation or manual labor. Long before space travel was even a dream for the folks of Earth, even before antique machines like automobiles were possible, horses could be found everywhere. You might have seen them in old movies or read about them somewhere. If not, I highly recommend looking into them sometime. They're beautiful animals. The tavern's original owner was infatuated with them, from what I understand, and named the place in their honor. The moniker, Brown Horse Tavern, is also a throwback to names of similar Earth restaurants hundreds of years before it was established. That delicious smell is making me hungry. Can I answer anything about the Brown Horse?
What can you tell me about the owner?
Anya Seattle is the current owner of the Brown Horse. It's been in the Seattle family for generations. But Anya will be able to tell you more herself. Feel free to ask her. It doesn't feel right coming from me when she's standing right over there.
How could this possibly be the oldest restaurant in the solar systems?
Easy. All the other ones fell to ruin when we abandoned Earth. There were technically older ones on Mars, but those have long since shuttered or been replaced.
Any menu recommendations?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I honestly love everything Anya serves here. I'd be doing her a disservice to recommend one dish over another. You want the real answer? Order one of everything.
I think I'm good to go here.
Okay then. All right, we're headed to the last stop, right back where we began. Feel free to check out the museum exhibit in the main concourse here. These displays are full of rare Earth trinkets salvaged from before humanity left, and Maurice is happy to talk about the collection. The museum's curator, Maurice, will be happy to talk to you if you want to know more.
And we spoke with him already, so speak with Bill.
Well, that's that. I hope you enjoyed Starsap tours as much as I enjoy giving them.
Oh shit, I loved it. Just a little extra something for you.
Oh, wow, I really appreciate it. You know, I rely on tips from good people like you, so thank you from the bottom of my heart. Enjoy the rest of your stay in New Homestead.
Wow, very generous. As long as you're throwing around money, maybe you wouldn't mind tossing some my way.
Take care!
Take care. He's a cool character, great voice actor too. Like, that was really cool. Okay. Awesome.
Did you know the museum here is full of old Earth artifacts?
Hello there. Welcome to New Homestead Chunks. We've got all your Chunks' favorites. Well, almost all of them. Sadly, we're out of the special sauce. I know. But everything else is still that great Chunks food you know and love. So, what can I do for you?
Ooh, New Homestead's all about authentic living history. What's Chunks doing here?
Well, people gotta eat, you know? But seriously, I think we're just starting to get with the times a little. And I can't think of a better restaurant than Chunks to usher that in. I think corporate just saw New Homestead as an untapped market. And the locals may not eat it, but the tourists love having a taste of home.
What's your favorite chunk?
Oh, you had to go and ask the hard questions, huh? How can I pick just one? There's chicken chunks, beef chunks, potato chunks, cheesesteak chunks, cheesecake chunks. You know what? I'm gonna cheat if you don't mind, and just say I love them all equally.
Your wife owns the Brown Horse Tavern. How could you work with for competition?
Oh, it's all good. Chunks pays me pretty well. And between you and me, Anya's doing all right herself. Plus, we got this plan, you know? We want to see if we can introduce some of Anya's famous cooking to the Chunks lineup and pitch it to corporate. Imagine Anya's delicious food in every Chunks restaurant across the settled systems. And people are bound to come visit her place to see where it all started. It's a win all around.
True. Yeah, that's true. You really seem to love Chunks, huh?
You know I do. And what's not to love? It's delicious, nutritious, easy, fast, inexpensive. It sure makes my hungry belly sing for joy. Here, my wife thinks I eat too much Chunks food, but I just can't help myself. It's so good.
Running out of Chunks special sauce sounds like a problem.
If I'm completely honest, it is. And people are always saying how this Chunks can't compare to the real deal. And I just know it's because we never had that mouth-watering sauce. I've been in contact with some of the other restaurants out there, and they'll give me some. But they say they can't afford to send it, and I don't have a ship, so what am I to do?
Yes. If you just need someone to go get it, I can do that for you.
Wait, for real? You do that? You're not pulling my leg?
Yeah, no problem. Tell me where to go.
Oh, yeah, right. I actually just got a message back from another Chunks before you got here, and they got a case ready to go for me. Just tell them you're there to pick it up for me, and it should be good to go. Thanks. Ooh, wait until it's time to eat. I'm gonna use our discount to get a bunch of different chunks and mix them all up. Try some new flavor profiles, as they say in the biz.
What biz?
So cold.
What are you talking about?
You know, the foodie biz. Chefs and all that. It's a thing we do.
We get cases of refrigerated chunks and we just heat them up. We don't, like, make anything. You are really into chunks, huh?
Yeah, it's the greatest. Can't believe you're so down on it. We have the best job on Titan.
Whatever. I'm just doing this job to help my family pay the bills and save up so I can pay for my education. And I am out of here. You've chosen chunks. What a great choice. What chunks did I get you?
That's hilarious.
Since I last visited. Nice to see this place still has the same charm.
You get used to the methane.
Okay.
There. The museum here is free to everyone.
Oh, what's his last name? Atlanta. The gravity in this place is cool. I think that's everywhere.
Always so cold.
I goes to the surface.
It's a little weird that people come.
Lounge. Yeah, this place is awesome. I do like this location. I like the museum aspect of it.
Did you see those wind turbines out there?
No Homestead.
We used to get more tourists than we do these days.
Sure would be nice to get off world sometime.
Awesome. Alright. Outside. Yeah. This was cool. It is cool. All the turbines back there. How do I get up there? And I guess I can't access the apartments that, you know, want to be secure, which makes sense. Can I go up here? Guess not. Well, maybe I can. I don't know. Maybe there's like a ladder of some kind.
Feel free to look around, but do not.
This is Energy Systems Office. Oh, that was quick. Oh, yeah, up here. Look at that.
That old Titan wind is going strong
Joyce
today.
Osaka. A cutter. Personal log, Joyce Osaka.
Hi. Me? I guess? My therapist told me I should try recording notes to myself as a way to, cope with this drastic life change. I guess the goal is to look back on it later and see progress. Anyway, I've been living here in New Homestead for, 3 months now? And it hasn't been easy. The locals are a little wary of people coming in from the outside, but they know they need me here because their previous power systems manager died unexpectedly. Got stuck out in the cold with a suit puncture. Alcohol may have been involved. Remind me not to make that same mistake. Where was I? So, I decided to go all in and change my family name to show these people I'm serious about their home. It's caused some drama with my parents, but ultimately, they understand. And to be honest, I kind of like it. I've always loved the history of this place, from its inception as an outpost searching for life, to researching how to build colonies on harsh worlds, and now as a living history museum. It's really the lights are struggling to stay on again. Well, back to fixing this place. Talk to you, me, later.
Okay. That's her right here.
Locals dislike tourists, but I love learning new insights from them. Oh, hello there. Are you here about the brownouts? That's usually the only reason people come up here to talk to me, since I'm the power system manager here.
Brownouts?
Yes, the power shortages we're experiencing. Haven't you seen the flickering lights? This equipment is all very old, and the protections against the cold have worn down, so now, brownouts, all the time. And I get to deal with it. Hooray for me.
Actually, yes, I came in to talk about the brownouts.
Of course you did. That's okay. It's a problem here. Citizens and visitors alike have a right to know what's going on and when to expect a fix. Problem is, I don't know how long we'll have to deal with this, because I'm needed here to oversee the whole system, and we don't currently have anyone available to go out and solve the issue at the moment.
Maybe there's something I can do to help with the brownouts.
Actually, that's not a bad idea. I'm a little new to the job, and I'll admit I'm struggling a little bit. I could use some help.
Just tell me what you need.
I could use someone who's handy with a laser cutter to break up the ice that's formed on some of the power system machinery out there. That should clear up the shorts we've been experiencing and stop the brownouts. Does that sound like something you can do?
Sure, no problem at all. As a former miner, I know my way around a cutter.
Oh, thank you. I guess I'm lucky you showed up then. Just be careful not to hurt yourself or the equipment. I'll continue to monitor things from here.
Oh, and we'll complete that quest later, but I just wanted to add it to the list. Still got Bacteria enabled. Equipment review. Wind turbines continue to ice up. They're the originals, and this being New Homestead and all, it seems fitting to keep them that way. Recommendation is to keep administrating repairs. Replacing them, while sensible, is both costly and diminish the classic appeal of New Homestead. As such, I will decline sending a proposal to the appropriate parties at the UC Energy Department. Bogdan Brita, Chief Power Technician. We've already read Neon Gang Culture, the notebooks.
How's it going out there with the ice?
Yeah. That was that. Ground floor. And there's one more room left. Maybe.
I could really go. My papa doesn't really like me talking to him.
Oh, okay. I see now. Okay.
If you need medical attention, see Dr. Lakota.
Alright, we're done here for now. We'll always come back. We have more quests to do and to turn in and complete out and around. But we are not done with this place. But now before I finish the stream, I want to go visit Earth real quick. I must. Okay.
Hey. Been looking for you.
Alright. Oh, I'm gonna swap my vehicle.
Hey, what can I do for you?
Hey. I have to view my vehicle.
Okay, no problem.
And right when you said the demog that is active. I get some cool colors to it. Let's do, yeah. And then nice blue and white, kind of Andromeda. And then what's the other one? Oh, the wheels. Oh, that looks ridiculous. I like that. That's it. Thank you. Yes. Okay, let's go visit Earth. And check it out.
Should I warm up the engines?
Everything looks good at my station, Captain.
Excellent. We're leaving New Homestead. Taking off.
Let's put this bird into space. Orbital pattern locked in.
Okay. Man, Titan looks very similar to Venus, but on the surface it looks a lot like Mars. There's Saturn way over there. Okay. We'll visit Earth. I went ahead and off camera go to all the moons. Just surveyed all the moons, because those are kind of the land. Saturn's over there. And let's go ahead and jump out. Okay, there's Earth. Oh, there's the London London landmark. Let's go visit that. I forgot, we read one of the books, because that's how you get the locations. You get the books out and about by randomly generated, you know, just, you could stumble upon it. And then you can find locations that will spawn on the map. There's a variety of locations that we can find. And we're now at Earth. Ooh. Check that out. It's just a barren wasteland. Okay, where is it on here? It's London, and that's land. So, oh, whoa, oh, that's the spear. Forgot they called it. Wow, and this thing is tall. So the fact that we're maybe like halfway up, that means it's like probably a mile or more of sand covering the world. I mean, that's ridiculous. And there might be a snow globe, I think. I've heard about them. Man, we left Earth and just trashed it behind.
So, what have we got? Animal, vegetable, or...
The fact that London is below all this sand, as if it was a sea of sand, is very unsettling. Just gotta find the snow globe. Gravity is actually somewhat good here. You know, as it should. I thought it'd be a little bit affected. Wow. The Earth. You were so blue and green before. Now you're just sand. And there's no atmosphere. So, wow. Get a thumbnail shot. Visit our first landmark. Yes. And then pick. Yeah. It's got this snow globe. Oh man, there's a wonder on this planet. Oh, on this, the wonder on Earth. It's just, and then 5 resources. Now where is this snow globe at? The old neighborhood. Gotta be here somewhere. I'm not seeing it be picked up as an interactable on the map. Or on the scanner. Whoa. Dang. This aspect of Earth like this, and you see the wonders of the world, structures that were in a past age, like that is so fascinating. And I like how they approached it. Where would the snow globe be? Beautiful. I mean, it's such an iconic building in London. It towers over everything else. Well, it's not obvious. I'll say that much. It's not obvious. Maybe it's not by the rubble. No. Yeah, maybe it's not on the base. Maybe it's around here somewhere. Oh, is this it? No, that's lead.
Keep scanning. I'm sure there's something nearby.
That is lead. The music though. Ow. Forgot the gravity's lead. Beautiful. The Milky Way. I mean, I might be blind here. I don't know. It doesn't glow. Oh, I ran past this shit like 3 times. London snow globe. Here we go. We got it. We got our first snow globe. New items. Yes, there it is. Look at that. Look at. Wow. That's awesome. I want to collect them all. We got it. London's done. Get the double-decker buses. The palace, shard, the Ferris wheel. Yes. And some milk. Alright. We're done here. We'll visit Earth again. We are by no means finished with Earth. Just think about it. I mean, the scale here is immense. Like that's taller in real life. It's because it's buried. Yeah, I mean it's crazy. I can't wait to see the other landmarks. But anyway, we'll do that next time.